everyone can be a foodie, whether you're rich or poor, young or old, male, female, etc. You can be a foodie. Ako lebih penting is we're making a restaurant not for ourselves. We are making a restaurant for our target market.
Betul.
We have to design a menu yang cocok sama rasa or the taste of our market. Sometimes the food is not
the main star of the show.
Star of the show yang nongkrong.
Hello everybody, thank you very much for tuning in to Ray Jensen Radio Podcast. Kali ini kita akan ngobrol-ngobrol dengan sosok dari food media. Namanya Jet Doble, dia adalah publisher dari Foodies. Jadi proyeknya itu Jakarta Best Eats, kalau kalian ingat, stay tuned for that this year. Dan juga dia adalah seorang food event creator. Jadi Jet itu kerjanya bikin acara yang bertema makanan di beberapa tempat di kota-kota di Indonesia. Acaranya selalu unik dan keren-keren juga, original. Nah, dia akan bercerita banyak nih, khususnya sudut pandang dia tentang industri restoran di Indonesia. Dan yang lebih penting, dia akan ngomongin betapa pentingnya PR, communications, dan juga peran media dalam sebuah bisnis restoran. Oke, seperti biasa jangan lupa subscribe di Ray Jensen Radio Podcast. Kita ada di YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, dan juga Anchor App. Kita juga ada di Instagram dan di TikTok, bisa ke sana untuk further updates. And without further ado, please welcome Jet Doble. Enjoy the show. Hi Jet.
Hey Ray.
Yes, Happy New Year. First of all, finally.
Thank you.
So glad lu bisa ke sini akhirnya. It's an honor for me to invite you.
Oh, it's my pleasure juga.
Yeah. Congratulations on the success of Foodies.
Thank you.
And juga Prefinit.
Yes.
Jadi guys, buat yang belum tahu Jet Doble ini siapa? Dia adalah one of the food media of Indonesia.
Wow, thank you.
Ya kan, dengan Foodies dan juga ada PR and hospitality consultant ya, di Prefinit ya.
Correct.
Yes, nanti kita akan ngomongin itu. Pernah juga jadi judge di Iron Chef, dia juga food event creator, acaranya keren-keren all over Jakarta and Bali usually.
Thank you.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that juga. Nah, first of all Jet, how do you end up here? Lu kan orang Filipina.
Yes. Itu long story sih. By the way, this year I'm celebrating 15 tahun. In Indonesia.
Wow.
So I moved in 2007. Dulu pernah I was a banker in the Philippines.
My God.
Yeah.
A banker.
Yes.
Okay. Nggak,
jauh.
Never thought of you used to be a banker.
And then when I moved here, actually I was in between jobs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took a break. And then the idea was sabbatical gitu, not going back to banking dulu, but trying to find something to do. So dulu I had a cousin yang tinggal di sini.
Okay.
He was a teacher. Lived in Kelapa Gading. She was a teacher for Singapore International School.
Okay.
So dia yang bilang, why don't you come and holiday in Jakarta? And I said,
why?
Holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
Who holidays in Jakarta? Yeah, right. So, and then she gave good defense. She said, you can go to Bali, you can go to Yogyakarta. It's an hour and a half away to Singapore. It's 2 hours away to Bangkok, 2 hours away to KL. Gitu. If you want to travel within Southeast Asia, dia bilang,
very quick and possible.
And convenient. And unlike coming from Manila, itu 4 hours to everywhere kan.
Yeah.
Karena we're more in the Pacific Ocean. So I said, the defense was quite good. See. So I came kan. So I remember it was September 2007. And then it was the week before Ramadan.
Okay.
So, very different. Karena in the Philippines, predominantly Catholic kan. So, getting into the city juga was very different karena Muslim and everything and more cultures. Karena in the Philippines very homogeneous, kind of, everyone is Catholic predominantly.
Okay.
So those are the first ideas. So it's quite different. It looks similar tapi beda actually. But what really hit me in the beginning was the food.
Okay.
Karena I was always a foodie. Maybe before that term foodie was invented, we really love food as a family and myself. So I enjoyed the food instantly. Like you first time eating a lot of the Indonesian dishes, all of that. It really excited me. And
I would like street food.
And then Kelapa Gading is also known for all of these local foods. And so I in the first few weeks, I found friends who would take me out, and the goal is always to feed Jed something new. Karena, very hospitable juga kan. People who Indonesians are very hospitable. Kan. So that was the first jump into Jakarta.
How do you start a food media company?
Itu long process juga. So one of the first jobs I had, from the beginning I'm photo hobbyist. I wish I had more time to do photography now. Tapi I was really food photographer.
Okay.
And a photographer in general. So in that sabbatical time, I was looking for ways to do more photography. That's why I was traveling. So pas ke Jakarta, I brought all my gear.
Okay.
So I had few cameras, lenses, etc. So the idea was to shoot a lot of pictures. So the idea of traveling kemana-mana. So one day I met somebody who asked me, what do you do? I could not say I'm on sabbatical, kind of weird. And I couldn't say I'm retired or
between
whatever.
jobs gitu.
So I said, I'm a photographer. And mungkin this line, I'm a photographer, stuck to this person. So a few days later, apparently, he works in a media company. Works in a magazine.
Okay.
So kita nyari photographer. So, okay, sure. What am I going to do? We're going to send you to Krakatau volcano. And I'm like, wow. Like,
nature photography.
No, not just that. Tapi waktu itu it was still itu yang
active.
Oh
my God.
Erupting. And then it would erupt every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was a bit shocked, but I was super interested. I wanted to do it karena who gets that opportunity juga.
Yeah.
Plus the sweet side of it, they were going to pay.
Yeah.
So you get a free holiday, you get an opportunity to see something amazing. And I was taking pictures. So I took pictures. I spent the night on the island.
Yeah.
Across the volcano. So I have a few shots which are long exposure showing the yang lava.
We have to get that shot and show it.
And then I came back. I sent them all my photos, all as in 100%, which now I realize I shouldn't have done because now they own all my photos. And then a few weeks later, udah dipublish.
Okay.
So I had a byline, and it was my name, photos by Jed Doble.
Oh, nice. That's how you became a photographer.
That's how I got into photography and in media.
Okay.
So ends up this person is an editor of a magazine, travel magazine waktu itu. So they would give me jobs, It was perfect seat. It all fell into place. And then a few months later, he asked me, ako mau pindah magazine, do you want to come and work for me? As the photographer of the magazine. I said, are you going to pay for my quitas? He said, yeah, sure. So I moved, and that was Time Out Jakarta. So my first official real job was with Time Out Jakarta, and I was photo editor.
Oh, photo editor.
Yeah.
Okay. And from there to food?
I told you a different story. So, Sebi.
Yeah. Sebi Taco.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sebi was the food editor. And then si Sebi got promoted.
Okay.
So but I was the photographer. And then the editor yang bilang, why don't you write about food? I'm not a writer, I said.
Okay.
Well, you are Filipino. Maybe your English is better than a lot of other people. So you can take photos and then you can write about it. Okay, sure, I'll try. Back in Manila, one of my friends who had a magazine already asked me to write food review.
Okay.
So I had some experience. I did 1 or 2 articles writing about restaurants. So I said, Yoda, let's take the pictures and then I'll describe the food. So I think that was the shift from photography to food.
Okay.
And I think waktu itu, that was I would probably call it, that was when F&B in Jakarta was booming and rising.
Yeah, something is evolving during that time, yeah.
Yeah, during that time. So that was 2008, 2009. That was the time we were at the peak. I think that's when a lot of people got to know me karena I was going around. But also Time Out had very strict rules. You cannot write about fancy stuff.
Okay.
So that's also the time I discovered a lot of food which was not fancy. So a lot of people don't know. Sometimes the people who know me think, oh, si Jed only eats fine dining.
Yeah, that's actually one of my questions.
Totally no.
I enjoy street food.
I started writing about food in Time Out, going to Petaksimilan, going to dekat-dekat situ.
Yeah.
So I even have a sketch of Petaksimilan and show where I go for bakso goreng, where you go for mie kangkung and all of that. So karena if you look at the Time Out rules or guidelines when you write, it's always local. It's always something interesting.
Yeah, cultural
kan. So that was my introduction to food. I'd take the busway, go to Kota, and then really walk around and take pictures and eat.
Oh, you still photo juga berarti at that time, right?
Yes, because they were for my articles.
Yeah.
Only a year later, they hire a new photographer karena I was already the food editor.
Okay.
I think that was my longest single job that ran about 3 years. So I was food editor for the first few months and then shifted to becoming food and drink editor.
I think I remember about Foodies itu, I don't know if you remember this. Foodies kan used to be a magazine, right?
Yes.
Majalah guys. It's like gue dikontak buat to do a food for the cover of Foodies magazine.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember that.
Of course I remember.
Okay.
Itu there were 2 iterations. There was the Foodie Mag. Kok ada partners yang lain. And then in 2016 we shifted to Foodies.
Okay.
Karena we split up my partners.
Okay.
And I split up. So yang Foodies was 2016. This one was all mine.
My first impression itu, hey guys, kalau kalian suka konten seperti ini, jangan lupa like the video dan juga subscribe ke channel kita, Ray Jensen Radio Podcast. Back to the show. Gue seneng karena kayak ada majalah yang khusus makanan nih.
Yes. Waktu itu gak ada.
Iya. Makanya I want to ask you.
The first one in the market yang purely food.
Oke. Iya. Karena gue kayak, wah, ini isinya makanan doang nih. Biasanya kayak banyak majalah yang lifestyle, right? Yes. Terus ada makanannya gitu. Tapi kalau Foodies kayak ini khusus makanan. Iya, khusus makanan. Wow.
From start to finish, from cover to cover, it's all food and drink kan. Karena I always thought the more specific you are, the narrower the market is. Yes, tapi that's why I also wanted to call it Foodies or Foodie kan. Karena waktu itu the other magazines abroad and locally were targeting high end.
Yeah.
And I thought that in Jakarta and in Indonesia, the low end, the street food, the variety itu vast banget. Yeah. It's so much options. You can't only talk about high.
Yeah.
And this is also really our concept in foodies karena everyone can be a foodie. Whether you're rich or poor, young or old, male, female, etc. You can be a foodie. Karena we eat constantly. And we don't only eat high-end atas food. You know, in a day you can wake up and eat pesan bubur ayam kan.
Exactly.
And then you can have lunch in the mall or lunch in a cafe. And then you can end up having a fine dining meal in a hotel or somewhere fancy kan. The optionsnya are super wide.
Yeah, especially chef.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
we don't kayak kalau nggak teman buka atau belajar.
You don't really go to a restaurant kan?
No. That's our experience.
Yeah.
Gitu. Terus the switch sekarang tuh digital kan banyak, dulu majalah banyak banget yang muat chef juga banyak, one of the foodies. Tapi begitu switch ke digital, how do you handle it? Kayak social media revolution gini.
From the beginning of foodies in 2016 udah ada Instagram from the beginning. Tapi it was a add-on kan waktu itu. We never really focused a lot of attention to digital. Yes,
yang penting ada gitu.
Yang penting ada. Tapi waktu itu all the energies to the print edition karena itu setiap bulan kan. So all our energy goes to designing, goes to writing, taking pictures for the print. So the shift to digital obviously came during COVID karena this was the time everything shut down. So restaurants were down.
Yeah.
Restaurants were closing. So itu who would we write about?
Yeah.
Tapi I really felt that we still had to support our F&B friends. Kan? So this was the beginning of us doing our own newsletter. Karena nggak ada print kan. So how would we reach our readers? Kan? Karena nggak ada print. So it had to be digital. Karena no touch kan, no contact. So we started our Expeditions newsletter. Itu for the first year 2020, all of our articles were just for friends and F&B contacts and industry friends yang we wanted to help. Karena how do you get the word out there that somebody had opened the food business dari rumah?
Buka
PO. It's like itu the whole time we focused on food karena we were just at home. And so what do? You eat.
You eat, yes.
So marketing was on Instagram, marketing was digital. And then I think it all worked well. It could have been better obviously for some businesses, but that was the time that the shift to digital for me, I felt it. We wanted to have a good website. So we started to build the website, even if it was hard at that time to invest in money to create a website. We started because we had to do it. We had to shift to digital so we could reach our readers.
Is it lebih gampang gak sih digital daripada magazine printed gitu?
That I'm much older. So gak segampang for me. But obviously there's the team kan who understood, who we're still at it kan. We're not we want to say we're getting there kan, as a digital platform. But the idea was, we wanted articles every day. We wanted to reach our readers. So that was the idea.
Okay. And besides that, lu juga ada Prefinit.
Yes.
Itu PR and Hospitality consultant, right?
Yes.
Terus I remember, terus you juga do food events.
Yes.
One of the first yang I noticed you do food events itu yang Locavore maybe.
Yes.
Yang waktu pandemi. In the height of pandemi.
Yes. So we helped Locavore do pop-ups.
Yeah.
Only in the beginning. Karena they're Locavore. Everyone knows them. So they can.
Not at that time, no, yet. Yang Jakarta banyak yang belum tahu.
Yes. So I won't take a lot of credit, tapi they had their own brand and it was just really finding somewhere to do it.
Yeah.
And then we did food events. We did a food event with Aman Jiwo, which I think was the first of its kind waktu itu. So we brought the 3 chefs. We brought Chef Elke, Chef Wayan, and Chef Fernando.
Yes.
Sindu to Aman Jiwo to do a food event with Aman Jiwo. So at the venues of Aman Jiwo.
Iya, yang ada itu masak di gubuk itu.
Yes. Itu si rumahnya Pak Bilal.
Before that, Aman Jiwo do that di sana gak sih?
Enggak.
Oh enggak ya?
It's the first time they did it.
Oh soalnya after that event ada my friend wedding di sana terus dipromoin. Okay, and they do it constantly now, right?
Now they do it already.
Okay.
So we were the first ones who did it.
How does it work sih kalau misalnya you work with hotels and restaurants untuk bikin event gitu?
How do we do it?
Do you approach them or the restaurant or the bar, the hotel approach you kayak, hey Jet, bikin event dong gitu? Itu gimana?
Dua-dua sih.
Okay.
I want to believe I've been doing it for quite a long time. 15 years in Jakarta. So through this time, I've also built up a good database and list of contacts. So that Aman Jiwo one, we were on holiday, we were there, we saw the venues. And then yung GM-nya, si Yan, was the one who said, maybe we can do something.
Okay.
So when he said that, my head already started to spin. Ako mikir, siapa ya? Who I will invite? Who will cook here? Who will do that? So I think the creativity is gets excited juga kan. So before I left, after that holiday, I already knew who I wanted to invite.
Okay.
And it was still 6 months down the road. Karena ako udah mikir, who should we invite? Who would fit cooking here? Kan?
Yeah. How do you get that creativity?
I don't know. I read a lot. I'm on social media a lot. I don't post, but I'm constantly looking.
Yeah.
So going back to magazine time, I used to buy tons of magazines. So you're constantly looking what are other people doing.
Okay.
And then apa yang bisa dibikin locally? What can we do locally? And fit whoever we have. I think if I had a superpower, it's really connecting the dots.
Yeah. It is an important skill nowadays.
Who fits where? Who can we invite and cocok sama tim in one place, stuff like that.
Terus kalau misalnya the listeners nih, pendengar kita mau pakai jasanya Prefinit, itu pertama, maybe it can help lo explain what you guys do dulu.
Okay, so Prefinit started as a hospitality and lifestyle PR karena my partner si Viana is ex hotel PR.
Okay.
So in the beginning, pre-pandemic, I was the face of Foodies and she was the face of Prefinit.
Okay.
Tapi because of COVID, we had to pivot. What can we do? So one of that was to PR not just hotels, but also restaurants. So one of our first clients and thankfully very loyal clients is Sudestada.
Okay. Really good restaurant. One of my favorite.
We worked with Sudestada dari pre-opening.
Yeah.
We knew, we helped create their branding. We helped create the idea of what it was.
Yeah.
And then Chef Victor and the owners and the team really supported us juga. We supported each other. So after opening it in March of 2019, in less than a year, COVID hit. So we helped them shift from being an open restaurant and having guests to helping them during COVID. We never stopped karena we told the owners, this is when you need PR.
Yeah.
We have to send out delivery meals. We have to make packaging. gak bisa yang stop kan.
Yeah.
Karena if you stop,
you die,
people will forget.
Yeah.
And I think it's the investment during COVID that we had offers, we had different interesting whatever. We sold everything. And then we even did the eat in your car thing after COVID. So I think that was an investment on their part.
Yeah.
So that now people come and even aku nggak bisa book my own table. It's so busy kan.
Jadi
and I think they one of our clients yang really stuck with us and we stuck with them.
Ya, di Sudestada guys, should try kalau bisa dapat bangku di sana karena ramai banget. Itu South American Steakhouse, Chef Victor. Argentinian.
Chef Victor.
Great food.
It's one of the best steaks in town, if you ask me.
Yes, really good. Really good. Gua 2 or 3 times there. It's so busy sih, rame. And nah kalau itu, what do you guys offer?
Okay, we do all sorts kan. We do, but basically it's strategy. Karena PR is not the results of PR is not overnight. You know, it's hard to say, oh kita spend PR 3 bulan ini and then our sales langsung increase ya. Enggak.
Tapi banyak yang persepsinya begitu.
Banyak yang persepsi segitu. Tapi it's not. It's an investment if you ask me. And I think PR is building your name. Kan? A lot of people think PR is social media.
Yeah, PR is logo.
PR is logo.
Yeah.
PR is Instagram.
Yeah.
Enggak.
Okay.
You know, those are small aspects, but it's really reaching out to the media. So we call it media relations. And then especially now, how do you search for a restaurant? You go online.
Yeah.
Kan? Dulu we looked at magazines.
Yeah.
Now you look online. So how do you search online? You go to Google.
Google or Instagram or apa ya.
Okay. For me, I go to Google.
Yeah.
If I'm going to a location, let's say, here, I came to Puri. Di mana ya? Where can we eat in Puri?
Yeah.
You put on the Google search, you put restaurants Puri.
Yeah.
Bakmi Puri.
Yeah.
Kan? If you don't know the name of the restaurant.
Yeah. Of course.
Right?
Most of the time kalau come to new area ya don't know.
You put the place and you put restaurant.
Betul.
Kan? Because you want to discover. So let's say if you only invest in Instagram, what's the assumption? People know the name of your restaurant. Kalau belum kenal, you can search on Instagram.
Yeah.
You'll search on Google.
Yeah, betul.
Okay? So that's one of the premises I wanted to teach people. You know, when we search for a new place or when we're searching for interesting hotel, ke restaurant, ke hotel, ke resort or whatever, you go to Google. And what do we want to do? We want to stack Google up with articles about you. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and these are not just blog posts. So we talk to the real media. We talk to lifestyle, we talk to news, we talk to segmented, the men's magazines, women's magazines.
Yeah.
Not just lifestyle magazines, other news portals. So throughout the years, Viana and the team at our team at Prefinit also has developed very lasting relationships with,
of course,
media outlets. And so in one go, we want to be able to introduce your restaurant, your hotel, your resort, your brand to these media outlets. So all of these media outlets, outputnya apa? Article. Which they put online. Kan? So now, there are articles about you, your restaurant, your brand, etc. online. So it'll be easier for it to search. Other people will say, oh kita invest in keywords on Google. Kan?
Does it work no? Itu work gak sih?
It will work, but it takes a lot of money.
Dan emang harus ada lah artikelnya.
And then ada multiple kan. You can't buy all the words. You probably won't have enough money to buy all the keywords. So the best way menurut kita is to have articles written about.
Oh nice. Terus nih ini karena gue lagi mau buka restoran juga one day hopefully ya. Gue nanya nih buat kalian juga nanti.
You have my number.
Like kalau misalnya I invest in preventive services gitu. Terus itu apakah misalnya Ray lo harus masuk artikel di majalah A misalnya online misalnya Kompas atau Detik whatever semuanya gitu. Terus you will approach them for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Itu throughout the years kita udah develop our
strategi
database.
Gitu ya.
And then kita as your strategic PR consultant, we will also help you create strategy.
Okay.
And then plus, I think the most valuable part of it is we pitch to the media outlets for you.
Iya dong.
Yeah.
That's important.
If you approach the media outlets yourself,
mahal.
Itu mahal.
Yeah.
We're saying that we speak to them for you on your behalf. Plus we develop strategy.
Yeah.
There are some restaurants, let's say high-end, super high-end, fancy, fine dining. So, we're not gonna post about it on
harus cocok-cocokan gitu.
Harus cocok-cocokan. So it's important. Kita yang matching. And there are some headlines yang kita yang help pitch. For example, there are business magazines. Kan? So kalau you as an owner or a restaurateur, we pitch not your restaurant, but we pitch you as an entrepreneur or a restaurateur. Itu story-nya, angle-nya beda. Of course, to a food magazine, we talk about the food, we talk about the chef, we talk about rasanya, we talk about specific dishes. Itu pitchingnya beda. And then if it's a lifestyle magazine, again pitchingnya beda. We talk about interior, we talk about the ambience, we talk about the feel, the music, etc. Kan? So itu we do that for you. Karena each media outlet will have
different angle
angle and a different target market.
Yes. Oh, that's smart. I never think about it. Yeah. I'm so bad at branding, Jet. Maybe nanti we can work together. Okay, next one. I want to talk, mau ngomongin kayak the role of chef nowadays.
Yes.
Mungkin waktu zaman 2000, when you start here, 2007-an gitu segala macam, restoran, lu ngomong tadi ada a little bit of revolution, lifestyle lagi nge-booming gitu. Nah sekarang, how do you see the role of chef now? Sekarang kan chef lebih dikenal orang, right?
Aku very, as a food writer dari awal, I have huge respect for chefs. Karena I always saw the chef as, you're on your feet 14, 15, 16 hours a day in the kitchen. Kan, dari pagi. Even if you open only for dinner, you're already cooking, prepping dari pagi, kan, going to the market, etc. So aku my respect for a chef who owns a restaurant itu very high, tinggi banget. Karena I see the effort, especially now that I do PR for restaurants and I've helped restaurants open from the marketing or PR side. Itu even my concept of dulu food writer doang to now becoming a PR person, itu nge-shift juga. Karena I understand more the processes involved in opening a restaurant. So for a lot of people for those who listen to the podcast but are not in F&B, I want you to be able to understand how difficult it is to open a restaurant. So the role of the chef udah ganti juga. It's not just tukang masak in the kitchen and cooking and making sure makanannya enak. Now the chef is a photographer. Now the chef is somebody who appears on podcasts.
Brand ambassador juga.
Ambassadornya brand of the restaurant juga. Kan has to come out and speak to the guests. Banyak chef who are not that
exactly
savvy. So now all of those skills ditambah to the cooking part. So
being a chef.
Now it becomes a brand. The chef is a brand. And then he puts out puts out fires not just in the kitchen but also in the dining room sekarang kan. Kalau ada complaint kan. So there are so many skills now which add to the role of chef. And maybe you don't, a lot of you who just consume food at the restaurant, those who are not in the industry will not realize this. But now more and more, even for example, you walk into a restaurant, yang mas to the server, tolong fotoin kita, kan? Itu how many minutes of the day does a server add? Have taking pictures of people at their tables. Itu we didn't have that 10 years ago.
No.
And then when you open a restaurant, bukan mikir doang yang makanannya. You have to think of the plates, physical plates, piring, the glasses, the interior, karena itu semua fall into place, have a role now in the whole scheme of things of a restaurant.
Betul.
Interiornya cantik nggak? Kan?
Instagramable.
Because whether we like it or not, one of my favorite quotes is Jakartans don't eat out. They hang out.
Okay.
So sometimes the food is not
the main star of the show.
Of the show. Ang star of the show yang nongkrong. Yang hanging out, yang talking to each other. And maybe secondary would be, tempatnya bagus nggak? Ya, cantik nggak? Instagramable nggak? So when I consult with restaurants and people who want to open restaurants, itu I have to tell them that is a factor now. Dulu we didn't think about that. And you think food will carry everything.
Chef think about that.
Sadly,
no.
Realistically, no. Kan? So now that's a huge factor. And sometimes sadly, it might be equal in the decision-making process of where do we go to eat.
During kalau opening a restaurant, investmentnya juga sih. You want to invest in the kitchen, in the good stuff, yang lebih mahal dikit, atau lu mau bikin tempat bagus nih, nggak bisa semuanya gitu kan. Dan the challenges for me dulu when I was opening my restaurant, ya itu. We doesn't, the group, itu orang restoran semua kan. We doesn't really believe in kayak the power of branding and marketing gitu loh. We didn't invest in kayak orang marketing yang bagus gitu. We didn't invest in kayak yang your company or similar types of company gitu.
And to be honest, we have seen a huge boost in people wanting the service.
Exactly.
Karena more and more people understand it better, lebih ngerti kan. It's not just the food side of it. It's not just the interior side of it. It's getting your brand out there juga.
I think
to the right market.
That's, kalau menurut gue sekarang maybe that's the most important gitu. And with your company
now it's
less
becoming
hassle.
more and more important that you reach the right market. And another thing, one of my questions again to a person or a group opening a restaurant, who will come? Who will eat? Who is your target market? And ako lebih penting is we're making a restaurant not for ourselves. We are making a restaurant for our target market.
Betul.
We have to design a menu yang cocok sama pamrasa or the taste of our market.
Betul.
And we are feeding them. We are not feeding ourselves.
Feeding the ego.
Yes. Came from you.
Lu lihat dari dulu sampai sekarang itu we're talking about the food nih and the standard of the restaurant food and service-nya. Menurut lu ada peningkatan nggak di Jakarta?
Totally. It's gone up hugely. In 2018, that's why we launched Jakarta's Best Eats and Bali's Best Eats.
Yes.
Itu yang our restaurant awards. My mission waktu itu was to highlight restaurants which did their best and who were the best in their field. Kan? Aku udah...
Is it kayak buat yang belum tahu nih, Jakarta Best Eats, is it a ranking nomor 1 sampai nomor
It's not
berapa
a
gitu
ranking.
atau just a list?
I observed a lot of these awards.
Yeah.
Ada Michelin stars, ada 50 best, ada all of the local awards juga. And I also looked at awards outside of the country, di Australia, New Zealand, etc. So aku mikir it shouldn't be a ranking karena the blood, sweat, and tears of the team to open a restaurant, everyone deserves, to be acknowledged. If all of the things work together.
Yeah.
So I made a point that it was not a ranking karena it's not a contest. You can actually go to all of those good restaurants.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna go only to top 5. I'm not only going to go to top 10. Kan? Tapi if it was 40, they were all equally ranked. They were all good.
Yeah.
Go to all 40 restaurants.
Betul.
What I wanted to highlight juga was you compete against who you say you are. So we had casual dining. Kalau casual dining, your restaurant, the mall, or a little cafe doesn't mean your food nggak enak or your food is not the best. So we had, if you're casual dining, you only compete against casual dining. If you are upmarket, a little bit fancy, you compete against.
Oh, jadi per konsep gitu ya?
Per level.
Yeah.
And then if you are fine dining, which sadly less and less fine dining establishments are out there, you only compete against fine dining.
Yeah.
Karena ada yang award best Italian restaurant, kan, for example. For me, that doesn't hit the spot.
Okay.
Karena you might be a small pizza place and you have amazing pizzas, and then you're keep competing against a foreign Italian chef yang making fine dining fancy, and then yang awardnya cuma 1.
Yeah.
Kan? It's unfair. We have to compare apples to apples. Kan?
Yeah.
So we will acknowledge if you're an excellent fine dining restaurant, you only compete against other excellent fine dining restaurants.
Exactly.
Kan?
Terus kapan bakal keluar? This year?
We had to stop because of COVID, 2021, 2020, 21, 22. So definitely this year, I'm also forcing myself to do it. Karena ada yang pengen juga, ada yang beberapa chefs and restaurateurs yang, Jed, bring it back please. Karena this is one of the only awards yang kita look forward to.
Okay.
And it really became an industry event karena it got bigger and bigger. In 2019, our event in Bali, for example, Bali's Best Eats, yang awards night-nya 450 over yang datang.
Nice.
And it was all industry. It was F&B, it was hotels, it was people who cared about food.
Yeah.
And I think that was the special part of that awards.
How hard is it? Is it possible to be, kalau ada award gitu, 100% objective?
It cannot be 100% objective. I will have to say that now. But we try our best to make it objective.
Soalnya I have experienced this. Though I work in a restaurant, namanya Ling Ling. Chinese, modern Chinese, dim sum and bar.
Yes.
Terus we open for 6 months dulu di Kuningan. I was the chef. Terus gue have a small share juga di situ. Terus tiba-tiba orang head of the PR di grup bilang kayak, Ray, lu ke PI ya, gitu di restoran La Moda dulu. Lu ke PI jam segini. It was kayak sore gitu on weekends. Terus kayak seriusan nggak bisa, I have to prepare for the dinner kan, restaurant is full. Nggak, datang aja, kita mau terima award. What? Award? Kita baru buka 6 bulan gitu kan. Oh, award, terus habis itu ada, I forgot the magazine atau apa gitu award saya. Tapi Jakarta Best Restaurant gitu. Terus the restaurant dapat nomor 2. Gua. Terus gue malahan mempertanyakan, gila, masa sih restoran kita itu restoran nomor 2 di Jakarta gitu kan. So I asked, ternyata of course we pay. Jadi ternyata di award itu ya lu mau nomor 3 ada harganya, lu nomor 2 ada harganya, sampai nomor 10 gitu. per listnya gitu.
I have no experience. I cannot answer. Tapi I will speak about ours.
Yeah.
Yang Best Eats waktu yang 2 tahun 2019 2018 2019 kita nggak terima joining fee or fee or menang kan.
Whatever the name is fee.
We have a board of judges yang cross section of foodies, people who care about food, who understand food, and the goal was to go to as many of the nominated restaurants as possible. Karena the only way to judge a restaurant is by experiencing it.
Exactly.
And then kita spesifik banget, ada kriteria juga, creativity, taste, and flavor, ada berapa persen. Service, which for me penting banget, berapa persen.
Of course.
And then beverage list, berapa persen. And then we had to put it. So in 2019 we added interiors. How does the restaurant look? Berapa persen. Karena the customer cares about the interior juga, right? And, totally. And then now it's more important. So what is that saying? Restaurants, guys, we have to put effort into it juga. Bukan just food.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, I think everyone understands now that it's not just the food. And I said this once, I said this very recently. Sometimes I go back to a restaurant not because of the food alone. I come back for the service juga.
Yeah.
You know, I come back for the recognition. They know me. They remember my drink, my order, my favorite dish. Kan? It's also very nice when you come in and they remember your
acknowledge you
just
gitu kan.
Me, karena I write about food, tapi it's for everyone. If they pay attention to their guests that way, I think if service is excellent, you know, there are some things which are, you know, because it's ada human factor juga. There are days wherein, maybe the fish might not be super fresh, kan? Itu operational side. But if your service is good and you recover, people will still come back.
Exactly.
Kan? But if your service
sucks, even if the food
is excellent,
belum tentu
it
orang
ruins
malas.
the whole experience juga. Kan? So you will not just not come back. You will tell 100 other people, jangan ke situ.
Servisnya jelek. Itu susah sih. The challenge is now.
There's so many things you have to balance, kan.
Betul.
And that's why when we came up with the system of how our judges voted and chose, it was very specific. They have to experience restaurants
anonymously.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Kan? But you know, in this day and age, how do you really track hundreds of people coming into your restaurant? Juga, you know? So sometimes I try to slip into a restaurant yang they think,
oh no, you cannot. You cannot. Udah pasti.
I think aku nggak kenal, but apparently kenal.
Iya. I mean the judges.
The judges, yes. So some of the judges are popular. Some are not. So we are still in the process of coming up with our list
the
of
panel
for 2023 in Jakarta and Bali.
Stay tuned ya guys.
Yes.
Jakarta's
Best Eats and Bali's Best Eats.
Jakarta Best Eats and Bali Best Eats. Itu under foodies berarti ya?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Jet, before we wrap up the podcast, ada little game nih. So I will say out loud one name F&B industry. Terus lu tell me your honest opinion.
Ada hadiah nggak?
Apa?
No right or wrong answer.
No right or wrong. No right or wrong. Honest opinion. Okay. Restoran Angke.
Enak, Chinese food. Yes.
You go there?
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Baru buka dekat sini. Okay. Restoran Ogus.
Aside from good food is the great service.
Oh, great service, August. I agree with that. The Cocktail Club.
Best cocktails in town. And I love the ambience. I think I go more for the ambience.
The energy.
And the energy.
Yeah. Nice. Chef Arnold Purnomo.
Chefy. See, Arnold has. I've known Arnold for so long, and then congratulations on the new baby. And I'm happy for his success and what he's experiencing now.
Yeah. Okay. Lokavor.
The boys I've been very good friends with the boys for as long as I remember. And when I started attending 50 Best Asia Awards, yung first time they were on the list, ako yung kaget. Oh, you're here. And we used to enjoy these trips to the awards. Every time they were there, we would hang out. And I'm looking forward to next.
Yeah, ini I heard maybe they're opening soon, right?
Very soon, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What's next for Indonesian chef menurut lo in 2023?
I ask myself juga. But I think I see more. Okay, premise. I think fine dining is gone.
Yeah.
Or is dead.
Sad, but it's
Sad,
true.
but true. You know, that fine dining of white tablecloth, crystal, silverware, super stuffy and stiff. I think that's gone. Okay. There might be restaurants still at doing that, but I think slowly the shift to more casual.
Yeah.
Okay, to use the word casual juga in fine dining.
Yeah. Casual fine dining itu banyak banget.
Less uptight.
Yeah, less formal.
Less formal is happening. Service will never go out of style. And now I'm equating finer dining with service.
Okay.
And now, even in Lokavor, even in other, there are no tablecloth anymore. Kan? So, ito gone. So, with Noma closing,
Yep.
where
Noma
do
closing.
we go? You know, for fine dining. So ito evolving.
Yeah.
So that whole evolution will continue. And I think we're finding, especially in Indonesia, more and more restaurants who are upping their game food-wise, who are upping their game service-wise, but not uptight and serious and formal. So I think that's the trend now. We'll have great food, great service in a lot of restaurants, and you know the quality and the and the experiences are what matters. So I think that's where I wish everyone leads to.
Yes,
for 2023 and beyond.
I mean, the restaurant I was planning to open, hopefully this year.
Okay.
Itu will have that concept sih. Hopefully great food, great service, tapi with no fancy.
No stuffiness.
No. Karena zaman sekarang, who has the time to do like 2.5 hours sitting course meal? Kalau bukan event gitu ya, gitu kayak casually gitu. Karena ada reasonnya orang wants more and more casual, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to use casual.
Yeah.
Relax
atmosphere.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Jet.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Jet. Maybe last last question itu, why are there not a lot of Filipino restaurant in Jakarta? You know a lot of restaurateurs. Why don't you open one?
Something will come up soon.
Oh my God.
We'll see. I might do a pop-up soon.
Okay.
Not as foodies or anything else, but Jed with Filipino food.
Oh.
Something to look forward to.
Coming soon?
Which reminds me, I have to send my recipes. But part of my goal this year is probably to personal goal, to do more for my home country. Indonesia has been a great host country and home for the past 15 years. Tapi I want to highlight Filipino food. In Singapore, there are amazing Filipino chefs and bartenders who are so immersed in the industry. Yang ada beberapa restaurants. Hopefully we have, I don't know, maybe there can be a Filipino chef opening something.
Or start with kayak doing pop-ups and events dulu, I mean, to check out the market, right?
I will send you my adobo soon.
And lechon. I've never been to Philippines.
Itu maybe we should do a food tours.
Okay guys, so stay tune buat event-eventnya Jet. Ya bisa di social medianya, mungkin di what's your website first, then Instagram.
We
have foodies.
We have foodies.id, foodies.id. We have prefinit.id for the PR agency. And my personal Jet.doble.
Jet.doble. Oke, bisa kontak ke sana kalau need the services. Ya jangan lupa, emang branding really important ya. Take it from me, restoran yang do no branding and marketing at all. Jadinya apa kemarin. Thank you Jet for your time.
Hey, thank you.
Terima kasih and hopefully you enjoy makan-makan exploring the Puri area.
Yes, we'll do. Thank you.
Okay guys, jangan lupa subscribe to Ray Jensen Radio Podcast. Kita ada di YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor App. For further update, cek Instagram kita di Ray Jensen Radio dan juga ada di TikTok. So as always, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and much success di 2023. Bye-bye.